pagi dan salam sejahtera. Perkenalkan, saya Cendikia Flori Aristia, dosen program studi pendidikan bahasa Inggris dari Universitas Palangkaraya. Pada kesempatan ini, saya akan menyampaikan pernyataan diri dosen dalam unjuk kerja Tridharma Perguruan Tinggi. Saya akan menampilkan proses pembelajaran mata kuliah Intermediate English Speaking. Mata kuliah ini berbobot 3 SKS dan bertujuan membekali mahasiswa dengan kemampuan berbicara tingkat menengah pada konteks akademik, sosial, dan profesional. Ruang lingkupnya mencakup 3 bentuk berbicara. Yang pertama, interactional conversation, yang kedua, transactional conversation, dan yang ketiga, speaking performance. Pembelajaran kali ini difokuskan pada salah satu bentuk percakapan transaksional, yaitu making polite request atau kemampuan menyampaikan dan merespons permintaan secara sopan dan dalam bahasa Inggris. Metode pembelajaran yang akan dipakai adalah case method, di mana penggalian pengalaman mahasiswa, penyajian kasus nyata, serta identifikasi masalah untuk memahami konteks komunikasi. Mahasiswa kemudian menyusun solusi melalui diskusi, membuat dialog sopan, dan mempraktikannya dalam kegiatan role play. Tahap akhir dilakukan melalui umpan balik dan refleksi dosen untuk meningkatkan kemampuan komunikasi serta penerapan bahasa yang tepat dalam situasi nyata. Perkuliahan dilaksanakan secara tatap muka di kelas agar interaksi langsung, latihan pengucapan, dan praktik dialog berjalan maksimal. Sistem pembelajaran ini berbasis student-centered learning, di mana dosen berperan sebagai fasilitator dan mahasiswa aktif menganalisis kasus, berdiskusi, hingga role play. Pengalaman pembelajaran di kelas ini juga didukung penugasan mandiri berupa rekaman video role play. CPL mata kuliah Intermediate English Speaking disesuaikan dengan standar penyusunan kurikulum pendidikan tinggi yang terdiri dari 4 aspek sebagai berikut. Selanjutnya, dari 11 CPL tersebut diturunkan menjadi 3 CPNK sebagai berikut. Yang pertama, lulusan mampu melakukan interactional conversations tentang topik dan situasi yang lebih spesifik. Kedua, lulusan mampu melakukan transactional conversations di konteks informal dan formal. Dan yang ketiga, lulusan mampu melakukan speaking as performance di depan kelas. CPNK yang diturunkan ke dalam sub CPNK dikemas ke dalam 16 pertemuan, terdiri atas 14 pertemuan tatap muka, 1 pertemuan ujian tengah semester, dan 1 pertemuan ujian akhir semester. Materi perkuliahan pada mata kuliah Intermediate English Speaking adalah sebagai berikut. Dalam menyusun materi perkuliahan, saya mengacu pada referensi fisik dan referensi digital yang berkaitan dengan Intermediate English Speaking, yaitu sebagai berikut. Baik, saya akan menjelaskan untuk komponen penilaian mata kuliah ini terbagi 4 bagian, yaitu partisipasi, tugas, UTS, dan UAS. Untuk partisipasi adalah 10%, untuk nilai tugas adalah 20%, dan untuk nilai UTS adalah 20%, dan untuk nilai UAS adalah 50%. Lulusan mahasiswa mengacu pada panduan akademik Universitas Palangkaraya dengan rubrik sebagai berikut. Berikut adalah cuplikan mengajar di kelas Intermediate English Speaking. Okay, everyone, is everyone ready for today's lesson? Ready. Okay, wonderful. Before we start, let's pray together. Okay, let's pray together. We begin. Finished? Okay, so is everybody here today or someone is absent today? No. Okay, let me just make a note in Google. Okay, alright. Wonderful. Okay, so for today's topic, we're going to continue on transactional conversation. And today is the focus on making polite requests. Okay? And our aim is that we're going to specifically looking at strategies on how to make and respond for polite requests. And for the expected final competency, 4 things. The first one, you're able to identify on polite requests, and then you're able to notice the structure, or grammatical structure, the various requests using appropriate, accurate language formulas. And we're going to look at the contextual reason when using uncertain terms, and also requests like for direct or polite requests in politeness based on the social norm, and also the responses. Okay? So you're going to learn how to accept, how to politely refusing or decline, and then seeking clarification or offer alternative. Okay, so first question, why do you need to be polite? So who can try to answer that? Okay,
To gain people's respect.
Oh, to gain people's respect. Okay, that's interesting. Any other opinion?
To make a good impression.
To make a good impression. Okay, all right. So that might be a reason why we need to be polite, right? So let's take a look at the next part. Okay, this is an interactive section. So I'm going to read sentences, and then you're going to respond. So you can give thumbs up if it sounds polite, and you can give thumbs down if it sounds impolite or not polite. All right? Okay, so let me read the first one. Send me the file now. Okay, yeah, it's not polite, yeah? All right, how about the next one? Can you send me the file, please? That sounds polite, yeah? And then give me your notes. No. How about, would you please share your notes with me? Okay, so why this one sentence sounds polite or why one doesn't? So let's take a look here. The first one, send me the file now, that one is a direct request. Send me the file now. So that's why it sounds impolite. And the next point is that when you're giving instructions or requests that is too direct, it can sound impolite or not polite. And it can sound rude, and also you might offend people because you make them think that you're giving them orders. Yeah? And then the other reason is that you need to remember when you're giving polite request, it means you're asking something from somebody. So you're either asking for help, or you may be asking for a favor, other kind of favor. So especially when you are talking to someone who you just met, or someone who may be older than you must avoid being too direct. Yeah. So another one example of being too direct, like, I want help. Pass me the salt. Can you carry my bags? All of that is too direct. Perhaps if you're saying it to a very close friend, it sounds casual and fine. But if you're saying that to someone like your superior, or maybe to your parents, it may sound rude. Okay? Here are the basic principles for politeness. Okay, so the first one is that direct request is a not recommended way when you're doing it, or when you're saying it to someone that is you just met, or to someone older or superior, because they are imperative in nature and they may sound harsh atau terdengar kasar. Okay? And then for polite requests, it means that you are respecting their autonomy. It means you're giving a chance for them whether they can do the request or they can just decline it. So you're giving options. Alright? And then there's also social considerations. So considering the speaker's level of familiarity, if you are familiar with them, if they're close to you, or social hierarchy, for example, if they're your boss, or your lecturer, for example, or your parents or grandparents. And then there's the burden of the request also, whether the request is difficult to be fulfilled or it might be a bit of hassle. Okay? And then next we have softeners. So besides the formula, you have softeners. So softeners, they are expressions to make the request feel optional, to make the request feels relaxed and not so demanding. For example, like please, maybe you heard that one a lot, or possibly, and then for a moment, or when you have time, or if it's not too much trouble. So those are softeners. You can add it. So I can show you where to add if you want to add softeners later in the formula, yeah? So the strategies in giving response. So the first one, basically if you're accepting, you can say like certainly, of course. So you show enthusiasm and willingness to do it. And then another response, you might say no, or you politely declining. You say, I'm sorry, I cannot attend, would probably tomorrow be possible. So you start with apology, and then give a logical reason of why you cannot, and then give an alternative suggestion. Yeah? And then the other one is to request for clarification. If you want further information, you don't want misunderstanding. So you can say like, can you please, could you explain what you mean? Could you tell me again? Or you can say like, I beg your pardon is usually another expression. Or a very informal one is like, come again, if you have heard that term. It's similar. You are asking or requesting for clarification. Okay, so here's the formula that you can use. So the first one is the most common one, could you? Yes, so it's not could you, but it's could you. So you use connecting sound because naturally we use connecting sounds in English. We don't read it in separate words. So could you, for example, could you carry my bag? So if you look at here, yeah, you use could you and then you plus the base form of the verb. So the first type. So could you carry, give, yes. And you can add softener here, possibly. So you can say, could you possibly hold my drink? Could you possibly come to my office, for example? Yeah, so this one is could you. Yeah? Next one, another formula is would you mind? This is another formula. Would you mind? Yes, would you mind? Yeah, so it's not would you mind, but it's would you mind? Yeah, would you mind? You add ing form. Oh, sorry. You add ing form. Come back. Yes, now you put ing form. Yeah, so carrying, giving, helping, taking. So would you mind plus ing form of verb. Yeah? And then there's another one. I wonder if you could. I wonder if you could. So you use I wonder if you could and then plus the base form verb. So you use the first verb only. For example, I wonder if you could mind my bag. I wonder if you could give some advice. I wonder if you could help me. And then you can add softener again. Possibly. Yes. I wonder if you could possibly take me to the airport, for example. So that is the formula for that. Yeah? Okay. Alright, now let's take a look at some example here. So this is an example of a response or a request. It's not response, it's a request, yeah? So the first one says, hi, I hope you're doing well. I know everyone is working hard on this assignment. Could you please send your part to the group before 5 p.m.? It would really help us complete and review the final version on time. Thank you so much for your help. So why this is effective? Why is it effective? First, take a look. It starts with a friendly opening. So always start with a friendly opening. Hi, I hope you're doing well. Yeah. And then you acknowledge the teammates' effort. You give validation to what they do. I know everyone is working hard on this assignment. And then you put the request there. Could you please send your part to the group before 5 p.m.? So we use the soft expression of could you please? Or you can add could you please? Or could you please do this for me? Could you please? That's an expression that you can use. And then you explain the reason for the request. And then you end it with appreciation again rather than pressure. Thank you so much for your help. Like that. So it's like sandwich. So there's a lot of elements there. Alright? Okay, so here's the next version. This is more of conversation. So there's student A and student B. Okay? For example, the first one, hi, how is your part of the assignment going? And B says, I'm still working on it. And then A says, I understand. Could you please share it with us before 5 p.m. so we can finalize the report together? And then B, sure, I'll send it soon. Thank you for reminding me. And then A says, no problem. Thanks for your cooperation. Similar, you start with an opening of conversation politely. How's the part going? And then you can make the request. Could you please? Yes. And then you give the reason why you're asking for it. And then you give responding appropriately. Thank you for reminding. No problem. Thanks for your cooperation. You're giving appreciation. Like that. Alright, so we have a case problem now. Okay, so this is the exercise time. I want you to be working in pairs. Okay, and I want you to create the request. So it can be in a request form or it can be in conversation form. Up to you. Okay. After that, you can present it to class and explain to us why that approach is effective. Okay, before I ask, so what do you have to do? Yes, in pairs and what? What are you doing? Yes, that's right, creating a request. And then what do you have to do next when you finish with your request? Present it. Do you do it alone or with a friend? With a friend. That's right, with a friend. Okay, I will give you 15 minutes to do it. Alright. So how much time do we have? 15 minutes. Alright, okay. So I'll let you to work on that. Your time starts now. Wonderful. Oh, boys? Yes? Good? Okay. Alright. Hey, girls? Okay. Okay, time's up. Alright, bless you. Okay. Alright, okay, time's up. So now I want to see who's finished. Everybody finished? Finished. Okay, so I'm going to ask for who can show me their work. How about group 2? Where's group 2? Okay, Figo and Happy, please come to the front. Okay, so you came up with with the approach here. So let's see, I have your work here. So you send it to me. Okay, so your answer is here. So who can start? Okay.
Great job putting this section together. I think with a few small revisions, we can make it clearer and more aligned with the report's overall direction. Would you mind reviewing some parts and adding more details where needed? Let's discuss it. do together and improve it as a team.
Okay, all right. So why is this effective? Can you explain, Igo?
Okay, so the appreciate their contribution is to show their respect, and the next is the use of we instead of you to emphasize the teamwork, and after that, focus on the work, not the person, to avoid the phrases like your section is wrong or you didn't do enough. And the last is over collaboration, make the request feel supportive rather than demanding. That's all.
Okay, well done. Thank you for sharing. Okay, wow, okay. So that was one of their response. Yeah, so that's a very good approach. So it shows respect, emphasizing teamwork, avoid phrases like your section is wrong or you didn't do it enough, and then you offer collaboration so it feels supportive rather than demanding. Okay, well done, group 2. Right, so we've learned so much today, yeah? But before we go on to reflection questions, I want to ask, so what did we learn today? Who can answer? What did we learn today? Yes?
Today we learned about how to make a collaboration.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. And next, can someone show me or give me example of polite request? You remember? Yes?
Could you please hand me the document by tomorrow morning?
Okay, wonderful. Could you, yeah? They're using could you. Okay, wonderful. And can someone tell me, if they remember, what's a softener?
Do you know?
Oh, yes.
Softener is used so that the request feel optional and relax. Do you have an example for like please, possibly, for a moment when you have time and if you're not in too much trouble?
Okay, wonderful. Excellent. Okay, great, great, great. So we go to the last part then, which is the reflection. Okay. The first reflection would be, what is the difference in the level of politeness between could you and can you? You can explain that. Yes?
Could you is more show willingness, and then can you is too direct.
Okay, alright. Good. How about the second one? How does high intonation affect level of politeness in sentence? Who can answer that one? Yes?
The intonation affects the level of politeness because a gentle and friendly tones make a sentence sounds more respectful, while a harsh or flat tone can make the same sentence sounds rude or unfriendly. For example, for the soft one, could you help me? But with the harsh one, could you help me? So the intonation really matters.
Okay, excellent. Yes, that's right. Intonation matters, yeah? Okay, the last part. What is your biggest psychological barrier when performing spontaneous role play practice? So, who can share? Yes, Faila.
For me, my biggest psychological barrier when I perform spontaneous practice is that I get nervous at time because I fear making any mistakes when I speak.
You feel nervous, yeah? Yes, we feel. Who feels nervous when they're talking to someone? Do you feel nervous? Yes, I get nervous too, especially if I talk to someone like my superior, because you feel like you want to do it really well, but sometimes you overthink and you're afraid of making mistakes and you focus on perfection. So when we're talking to someone, focus on communication, don't focus on perfection, because you will gain confidence when you practice more. Alright, okay. So we learned a lot today. Thank you for your participation, guys. That was really good. Next week we're going to learn more on transactional conversation, okay? So for today's lesson, that's all, and see you again next time. Okay, bye.